Yo, what's happening, people? We are live for the Northwest Divide. I'm
In the
with my
building.
brother, right
In the building.
from the Northwest side of Liverpool, James Redmond Dino. What you say, my bro?
I am sick, my G. I am sick, my G. It's good to be back. I had to like, I've been, do you know, to the lakeside. The lakes,
Yeah,
yeah, I've been there the past couple of days, so I've just been chilling, relaxing, detaching, and now I'm back ready
that's
for
it.
this football world. I still saw that we drew 4-4 with a not a Wi-Fi password this time because it weren't long enough to be a Wi-Fi password. So
Okay.
what do we call faith? What do you call faith? Faith is a fine second division Bundesliga team.
Yeah, yeah. You
You know
can
what I
call
mean?
it that. Yeah, it's quite crazy. But then I've seen Nunes got a couple of goals, and
That's right.
it's one of them. It's pre-season, right? It's
That's right.
pre-season. We lost to Wrexham last night, so
Oh,
we'll
did
call
you?
it.
Ah, do
We'll
you know
call it
what? That
even.
makes me feel better. Okay. As long as we're all to him, bit weird, then I'm
Yeah.
fine with that.
Yeah, Miles is on the 21s though. Yeah, yeah. Yours is the first team. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah. But now, big up to you, man. Oh, listen, I've got something crazy yesterday. Yeah. So
Yeah.
basically, my brother kept calling me yesterday, and he
Yeah.
was like saying, "Yo, answer the phone." Kamzat Shimiev. You know Kamzat Shimiev, right?
Kamzat Chimaev, of course.
He was in my area last night,
Shut
just
up.
chilling. Yeah,
Wait there,
literally.
like in
And
your
I was
area.
like,
Wait there. So, are you out in a club or are you just out and about, sort of? And he's in the same. Like, so if I was in
no,
town,
no, no.
Kamzat's in town.
He was in actual my local area having some food. So we got this place in Rusham, right, where it's
Yeah.
like the Curry Mile, and he
Yeah.
went to the Curry Mile to go get some food. So he
Oh
was
my
literally
goodness.
chilling, just relaxing, eating some food, and everyone was like, "Yo, yo!" And it was packed out. Everyone came down there. It
Yeah.
was basically scenes, and I was thinking, "Yo, man, if that was James Redmond, that would have been sick, man, because you're a big UFC fan." So
Mate,
yeah, man, that's a little bit.
If I saw Kamzat Chimaev, I'm looking at like the most like dominant dude in the world possibly right now.
Yes,
And to me, that's something because the way that we see footballers and like the skillful and we admire the skills, that's the way I look at him. So you're right. If I was there, Saeed, I might have went over to him, asked for a photo, and then got dash choked for the fact that he probably thought I was going to threaten him. To be fair though, he's mates. He's mates with Darren Till, isn't he? So he might understand
yeah,
the Scouse accent that little
the
bit
Scouse
more for
accent.
that
Yeah,
reason.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
No,
Funny the way
no,
he's in
that's sick.
Manchester, random.
Manchester, that's what I'm saying. The Northwest Divide, they love Manchester, is what it is, isn't it? It's just that city. You know what
Big
I
deal.
mean? But big up to everybody who's here. There's 300 people in the building already. Make sure you hit that like button. And you know what, yeah? I wanted to start with Liverpool, but did you hear the bombshell last night surrounding Tottenham?
No, no, why? What's happening?
You didn't hear it. So
What is it?
basically, I'm gonna play you the clip. Um,
Okay.
and it's basically Tottenham owner. I think it's called Joe Lewis. He's been indicted in New York over alleged inside trading. I want you to just listen to this video and see what you think of it.
Right there, let's have a look.
Today I'm announcing that my office, the Southern District of New York, has indicted Joe Lewis, the British billionaire, for orchestrating a brazen insider trading scheme. We allege that for years, Joe Lewis abused his access to corporate boardrooms and repeatedly provided inside information to his romantic partners, his personal assistants, his private pilots, and his friends. Those folks then traded on that inside information and made millions of dollars in the stock market, because thanks to Lewis, those bets were a sure thing. Now, none of this was necessary. Joe Lewis is a wealthy man, but as we allege, he used inside information as a way to compensate his employees or to shower gifts on his friends and lovers. It's classic corporate corruption. It's cheating, and it's against the law. Laws that apply to everyone, no matter who you are. That's why Joe Lewis has been indicted and will face justice here in the Southern District of New York. Thank you.
Damn, damn. This is serious, man. Like, first of all, insider trading, I have no clue what that is. I know what indicting means. You've been held over there. I know what
Yeah.
corruption is. This is mad. When you actually deep it, like, but why do these billionaires do this? Like, you've got all this money, but yet you want to still be kind of bent, or you still want to be kind of like, You know, like,
The
why
re-
would you want to do this? It's
The
mad.
the real question we've got to propose here is who is the better person at finding loopholes? And when we establish who's the better person at finding loopholes is when we'll realize like who's the best at running this game. So if you are cheaters and you do this frequently, you know, you're gonna get used to it. You're gonna find loopholes to a point where actually you can't really call them cheaters no more because you haven't got me.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Guilty
Yeah.
until innocent type idea. Tottenham, clearly this, what's his name, Mr. Lewis, he's clearly a dumb guy
Joe
to some.
Lewis, yeah.
Now here's the score. I don't know how long he's been doing this. If he's been doing this for a long time, then he's been a very smart guy for the past 10 years. Because what that has
Yep.
enabled him to do is create businesses or create wealth to a point where you can now invest into this specific business, Tottenham Hotspur, as a European team, regularly getting it and also getting them European or that European revenue, which is massive for the football club as well. So that's funny because it's Tottenham as well. So now I've just realised that we beat a team of cheaters in the Champions League final, which makes it that much better. That's what I was thinking about when we were listening. You know what I mean? Like they wouldn't be as good as
Yeah,
Saeed. Can we both agree they wouldn't be as good if they weren't cheating? Because clearly, Saeed, I'm
yeah,
like you. I don't know
no one
what
can be
he's
good.
even talking about. I don't even know what he's
Yeah, 'cause
talking about. So
any form of advantage through cheating is technically cheating. So yeah,
that's right.
you're right,
That's right.
100%.
But that's interesting. That's interesting. I wonder what that means
Yeah.
for their spending going forward as well.
That's what I'm saying. But also, what does it mean for in terms of their ownership? Because now sponsors now will look at them differently. You know, they've got NFL, they've got what is it? They've got they've just built a multi-billion-pound stadium. This is Tottenham Hotspur. In terms of what they can do off the pitch, they've got a lot going for them in terms of franchises.
That's
They've had
right. Man, they've
Beyonce
got the
playing
building, the overall facilities of the club, aren't they? They have
facilities.
been a club that, even though based on trophies, it doesn't say, as a club, the trajectory has gone up like this because even the revenue they're generating is more now. So I understand what you're saying there too.
Yeah,
I understand. I
yeah.
understand. But
You know,
last night,
so
this is big, you know. This is big because the reason why
this
this
is
is big
big,
is
man.
because it's interesting. Because it's interesting to see what do they do. So is Tottenham's owner British?
No, I think he's not American. I think he's
I
American,
mean,
you know.
the only reason
Let me
why I
find
raised
out.
this is because the gentleman who was on the video, who was looking like he was setting out the next
Oh, no,
lockdown,
he's
he was.
British. He's British.
I was
He's
gonna say,
British. Yeah.
because he mentions him or referred to him as British. So, the reason why I say this is because it's interesting to see how they're going to handle this situation. Apparently, it's with the American embassy who are there trying to get him in trouble. I don't know what this
Yes.
means for the picture of Tottenham, as you mentioned, the brand of Tottenham. I don't know if they're going to get a new owner, but that doesn't sound good. So, expressions better
No.
be getting the
No,
toilet rolling
Expressions there. I
because
think he
it could be a
tweeted or
tough
something
time.
last night. You know, he's in
What?
Thailand. Big up to Expressions in Thailand. I think he tweeted something last night and he was like, he wasn't happy. But you know what? Like, it's one of them where because obviously, like they've got so many commercial assets, and that's what keeps them relevant. Let's be honest, like the NFL and all the things around football, that's not around football. It keeps them relevant. So it's like, damn, man, like that is big for them. Like I said, they want huge sporting events there. They want boxing on there. They want so many things that they create revenue from. And if they lose
Or
that, it's like, damn, man. You know what I mean? And they get new owners from that. I think Tottenham fans won him out and they were laughing up yesterday, get him locked up and etc. etc. But I know what's going to happen though. He's going to end up paying a little fine. He's going to end up just basically pleading guilty, but obviously then we'll play a fine, and then it gets kind of wrapped up like that. I genuinely think it will be that. So I don't
yeah.
see. Go on, sorry.
I was only going to say before I even counter that point, guys, let's get those likes up to 100. If we can do that instantly, that'd be
Come
amazing. If
on,
we could just smash
like
it
the
dead
video,
quick now, and
people.
it won't even interrupt the show. So big up everyone, and thank you for tuning in. No, that's all that really to me. I don't think it's going to affect the brand of Tottenham. I'd expect somebody to be willing to buy that enterprise as well if they were willing to,
Yeah.
or if it was needed. But at the same time, what's the true worth unless you withstand and withhold all the same assets. So I'd need to see the links on how, if they were to lose this owner, what does that then mean for all of the facilities of the football club, because that could cause a huge issue, I'd assume, especially if they couldn't replace him. It's always difficult because if you're like us, where we don't really like our owners and we'd rather them be pushed out,
Yeah. We
you
want
know
them
about
out.
their
Glazers
exit.
next.
Yeah,
Glazers next.
Glazers
What are
next.
you doing with the Glazers, man? Get them out, man. They've
Get
done
them
worse
out,
than this
man.
Joe
Get
Lewis.
them out, man.
They've done worse
I'm
than
not
this
gonna lie.
guy.
I'm a Glazers in supporter. I feel like it's massively beneficial for the Premier League with their presence. I feel like they give us nothing but great.
Yeah, shush. Shush. Shush.
I just don't appreciate the limit in my free speech. Say that's all. That's all. Nah, bro, it's in ownerships and all that. It's always mad, isn't it? It's always crazy time. So I think with Tottenham, they need to be really hopeful that whoever this next owner is going to be able to withstand and keep all those assets which are currently inflating the funds of that football club. Because without them, it could cause them some financial turmoil. So we might see expressions become a Man City fan permanently if this goes wrong.
Yeah. You know what? Big up Mike, man. We need some experts analysis. Surely there's got to be some lawyers in this house. Surely, like, I'm a YouTuber. I'm just a regular guy. James Redmond is a YouTuber. He's a noble guy. Like, guys, if you have some inside knowledge, teach us. Because, like I said, I don't want to be that kind of guy that knows everything and is proclaiming to know everything. I don't know anything about what's he done. So if you guys know anything, let me know. And Mike's come here with a super chat. Said, saying insider trading is like, if I knew United were 100 getting sold tomorrow and I told all my friends, family to buy United shares on the New York Stock Exchange as share price will go up and make us money, it's illegal. Okay.
Okay.
I'm trying to
I'm trying to break that down as well.
let me try to break that down. So if I told my friends in there,
yeah, let me try and break it down, Saeed. If I knew United would 100%
is it betting basically? Betting,
I'm not too, maybe. I mean, I'm not too sure. I actually can't really do much with that. Only because I don't do stocks and all these things myself.
See,
I
don't
probably
do
should.
stocks. Like there's about people that go on like my TikTok, right? I liked one trading kind of post here, and now I'm getting every single trading post on TikTok, and I still don't understand what trading is. So, you know what I mean? Like, for me, what is it basically predicting? What you're trying to say there, Mike, is that he predicted something to happen, and it's basically like a form of betting, essentially, and basically he's got caught in that aspect. Is that what basically is?
Okay.
How do you
I think that.
interpret it?
No, I think that's it. I think I'm getting a bit more understanding, to be honest with you. Yeah, no, to be honest, this whole situation doesn't sound like it's going to end well for the dude. For the dude who's got himself into shit with this American embassy or whatever it was, that's the problem. That's the real problem. So what they've done, do you know what, Saeed? This is actually quite bad, This is
Yeah,
actually
that's
like,
what I'm saying.
this is
It's
like
quite bad
significant.
when you actually deep it.
It's a significant problem. Now I don't have a clue what it means for the future, because the question we've got to raise here is, okay, what do we know from the regulations and the discipline given to cheaters in this league? Usually it can be prolonged, it can be extended, so we might not have to worry about a punishment for years, really, when we see how these things go sometimes. But it does also sound like these have been ongoing investigations through a period of time, which now they can definitively say, okay, we've got your ass. Now we're going to come out on the front line and we're going to take this further. So I think maybe now we're in the next phase, and whatever happens, my interest is, what does this mean for Tottenham as a brand and everything else? Maybe they've got a crap owner, but then what if they get a worse owner? Or what if the financial situations caused by this owner currently is something that many people wouldn't be willing to match? So if there was debt of some sort, or if there was issues financially, who's willing to come in and take that financial burden when you're just a rich guy anyway? But go on, play
That's
this
true.
video.
Yeah, I'm going to play this clip. Sky Cover is going to maybe explain it a
with
little
us
bit
in the
better.
studio, we have our chief reporter, Carve Solikol, who's with us right now. Carve, Tottenham fans will be waking up and seeing this morning, concerned about their football club. Should they be?
It's not great news, of course, if you're a Tottenham fan, but I think this is a personal matter for Joe Lewis. This is not something that involves Tottenham at all. Joe Lewis, of course, is somebody who's owned Tottenham since 2001 when he bought the club from Alan Sugar, but he's not involved in the day-to-day running of the club. And in fact, he doesn't live in the UK. He lives in the Bahamas. So this is something that is going to be dragging on in the background, because there is now going to be a court case, and Mr. Lewis's lawyer says that they will be vigorously defending the charges and that Mr. Lewis has done absolutely nothing wrong. And of course, a man is innocent until he's been proven guilty. So let's wait and see how it all plays out. But if you're a Tottenham fan, if you're concerned about the day-to-day running of the club, I don't think you really should be. But of course.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so I think what we've established there is this is a Joe Lewis problem. I think Tottenham are fine in the short term. And it clearly seems like that he's going to put a case forward to defend himself as well. So it's one of those, you've got to see how it's unfolded. But yeah, that's interesting. It's interesting the way that Sky will use the innocent until proven guilty thing now as well. But yeah, no, fair play.
Yeah. Big up to Mike who says it's not predicted as he knows something is 100% happening. It's basically
Yeah.
unfair for everyone else who trades on the stock market as he has
Yeah. Oh
inside
no, I get him. I get him. So
information.
if they know what the trades are, if they know what it's going to be, or if they know something that's going to happen, like inside information, then you're manipulating the system, or I don't know what it is. But yeah, no, I understand a little bit more what Mike's trying to say now. Big up to
Yeah.
you, mate. Big up to you.
Now, big up to Mike, man. I appreciate you explaining that. But like I said, Tottenham, it is what it is, and you know what? We'll see what happens with that developments. But don't get too giddy. Joe Lewis is here to stay, and you know what I mean. Your club's still in the mud. That's all I say to you lot. Let's move over to Liverpool and make sure you're liking the video. Over 600 of you's already locked in. Make sure you subscribe to James Redmond. His link is in the title of the video. But let's move over to Liverpool Football Club, and
Oh
basically
yeah.
this is the
Oh
latest
yeah.
one. Romeo Lavia is almost ready, around 42 million, plus 42.5 million guaranteed fee, plus 2.5 million add-ons, up to a total of 45 million package. Liverpool want to be fast as Chelsea are still interested in Lavia, keeping a close eye. Arsenal gone quiet as Thomas Partey could stay. Yesterday, you got a bid rejected, 37 million. Let me ask you a
Right.
question.
Go.
When you look at this, like, is it worth everything? Like 45 million, 50 million? Like, do you think Lavia is worth it for now when you know it might not go into your team? How do you see it right now with the Lavia situation? Like, Southampton should really accept because he's not worth that amount. He's probably worth about 30, 35 million at
Yeah.
max. But the
Yeah.
market is crazy. But what are you thinking, bro? Because it's like it's mad though, the pricing of DMs now.
Yeah, no, it's a very limited market for sure. This is really the hope here is that he's a future-proof sign, and also with recent news, it seems like
Yeah.
Fabinho is going to stay. So I think a lot more people will now embrace the idea of signing a younger defensive midfielder. And I always wanted Lavia, even if Fabinho went. So I want the transfer to go through, even if it's 50 million we need to pay. That's just we've agreed. Okay, that's what we need to pay nowadays. Everybody knows we need a CDM, and regardless whether we go in for him or I think his name is like Luis Fernando, or I'm not too sure what his name is,
Yeah.
but there's him, there's Pauline. Yeah, all these teams are wanting similar prices. If Jurgen Klopp has identified this as a player that he really wants and he's a big fan of, Pep Guardiola identified him for City when he brought him there. That you know, he's very highly favoured when he was at Anderlecht coming through the ranks, and he was a top-rated player. Now he's at Southampton, a club that identifies good talent. I'm one of those where I want this player. I like his attributes. He's a good ball carrying midfielder. And if we think about inflation, you know, you're thinking of paying. If we're going back to 2012, 2013, we're paying 15 to 20 million if you're trying to put it in inflation terms. And that's for a young guy who's supposed to be one of the next big dudes in the country, as he is also homegrown, which is another reason why we needed to kind of be him opposed to a Palhinha, for instance, because we do need the homegrown element. So regardless whether it's number one or number two option for the club, I believe it's number one. And because it's their number one, I want them to get it, because then now if it goes wrong, we know who to hold accountable if it doesn't go right, and you haven't quite accommodated the midfield situation well in the defensive part. But I also think with a system change and stuff like that, it could be very adherent to Lavia. So I'm willing to give it a chance. I don't really care too much about the price. That's not going to fear me away from it. I just want to see somebody come in. And then I also use the context of Jurgen Klopp leaving, because bear in mind his contract goes up in 2026. So good chance he might leave at the end of that and not sign an extension. If that's the case, then that means Lavia will have now had, by that point, 2 to 3 years of development under Jurgen Klopp, in the system that Jurgen Klopp wants. So whoever replaces Jurgen will then now have a team that's already well equipped, put together with loads of big established names. So even if Lavia isn't it right now, I think we can all agree Liverpool are just trying to get back into the top four conversations right now. Context always changes, but right now that's what we'll say. If Lavia is good enough to at least be an option in a squad for that, happy days. So and quite clearly, if we're willing to spend 50 million on him, when we've got someone like Bajcetic, who's also like a young, unproven CDM, but still good, you know, still one that's impressed a lot of fans, then it shows that we're willing to possibly give this kid some game time. So I'm just excited. Do you think it's a good signing? I'm interested to hear your point of view from someone who's not involved.
I genuinely think he's a good signing, but the thing is, though, whether he starts or not, like Paul Joyce, who's I think a Liverpool pundit, journalist, he said that Fabinho still is going. So I'm kind of then like, I still think you need another one. You've lost Jordan Henderson and Fabinho, two midfielders of the similar ilk.
Have we sorted out the dog situation? Yeah.
No, it's not about dogs anymore. I think Dave honestly said it's not about dogs. No, it's about payment
Oh,
structure. So the dogs can actually go. It's just
oh,
that
can they?
obviously it's about payment structure. Yeah.
Ooh,
Literally.
okay,
So
okay.
that's why it's not even about dogs anymore. You know, I think a lot of journalists made it out it was a lot about dogs and whatnot. I
Yeah,
don't
they were
know if
trying to make it out like it was
Lavia.
something mad. There was a narrative there, weren't it? Like, oh, they don't take
Yeah,
dogs, but they'll
exactly.
take this. It's like, come on, just things.
Yeah.
You know what I thought though? I was thinking you can't bend the rules for Ronaldo though. Why can't you bend the rule for Fab? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying
Fabinho.
to be fair. Yeah.
Exactly.
So he could be going now. He could be going.
Yeah, he can still. I think it's still about payment structure for him. It is still in
Okay.
jeopardy as to what
Yeah.
David honestly said. But David
Yeah.
honestly did also say that they're working around the clock to kind of get this deal over the line because they want to get this deal done. Fabinho has his set sight on going there. They've got a 40 million. Is it 40 million that you're getting from
40
him?
mil.
You could then
40
maybe
mil.
explore buying another midfielder in that with that money, or
That's
he
what I'm
could say, you
saying.
know what, I've got enough in there. And then you kind of with got Lavia, you've got Bejic, you've got a couple of players in there. But
Yeah.
like I said, for the balance of your squad, having him as a DM, 19 years old, it's a lot of pressure. You know what it is? At Southampton, he had James Ward-Prowse next to him. He had a team that you didn't focus on it too much. Whereas at Liverpool, I am focusing on that fact that he's 19 and he's playing in the middle of the park for Liverpool Football Club. You know, we're not
Yes.
talking about any other random team. It's
Yes.
Liverpool, you know, and that's the aspect that I kind of look at it. Bayern also want Fabinho. Oh, I didn't know about that. But like I said, it's one of them where, you know, it's very, very interesting as to what Liverpool do. Do they keep the idealistic way for me would be keep Fabinho and Lavia. One more season of Fabinho alongside of Lavia, it makes sense. But if you
Why
do
does
sell
that
him,
make
then
sense?
you have to, yeah,
Why
you know.
does that make
So
sense? Can I ask? Why what do
because you know
you see
why?
that's productive about keeping Fabinho?
Because I feel like if you lose Lavia and you don't have someone next to him, or just in general, if Lavia doesn't produce, you then have no defensive midfielder of experience or just in terms of quality. Baticic is there, but is he ready? You don't have a full plan. If Lavia doesn't hit and he becomes a bit nervous and it doesn't really, his game doesn't come off and he doesn't suit what's going on and it's too much too soon, who then have you got to be in that position? Really?
If we
And
think
you've
about us too, think about us too in like a documentary, and we're running a football club right now, and we're having these conversations. What I'd respond to you right now, I'd say, okay, listen, Fabinho hasn't even been top 20 CDMs in the world in recent time. He's somebody who's been worse than Lavia, who's now coming in to replace him, and it's not been, you know, an issue of I don't know, it hasn't been temporary for him. Like the guy has been really poor for like quite a while, to a point where if we want to now elevate in conversations, he doesn't seem like his trajectory is going to go like this. We're going to get 40 million for him. Now, what does this allow? Now, here's what we know. We know Liverpool was already in for Lavia before Fabinho and Henderson were even talked about leaving.
yes, that's correct.
Henderson is now gone. He is now gone. That's now 5 midfielders who have guaranteed left our football club. Fabinho could be 6. So if you're going to replace that, or if you're going to let 2, what was your 6s go, you now need to go out there and accommodate. Okay, so we were already getting a new midfielder before they were going to go. So that's one thing. So Lavia's already
You've also
sorted in
lost
a way.
experience, though. You've also
Now
lost
we've got
experience,
now
haven't you?
we've got an additional 50 million if Fabinho goes, not from him solely, but with the Henderson deal. That's now 50 million acquired from both of those 2 transfers. So if we were already going to get Lavia and these 2 players are now gone, I'm expecting 2 more midfielders. So whoever that new number 6 is, whether it's Palhinha and Lavia, I don't mind, but it needs to be somebody of quality right here, right now, who can bring something to the team. So
Is that
I
you
just wouldn't
speaking in
keep
terms of
Fabinho.
realistically, or what you want? Like realistically, though, I think when you buy Lavia, you're done. Really, I genuinely think
I
that.
think based on the way we've spent, but I'm saying there is no excuse for us not to get a new
Oh,
midfielder because
yeah,
we were going to get Lavia anyway, and then now we've got 50 million additional funds, and that's probably 10 to 20 million off the mark of what a top class CDM costs, like Palhinha. So there's no
yeah,
excuse to not get one. So that's what I'm saying if I was behind the scenes talking about this, but the club might see it differently, as you say.
yeah. Big up to honesty, Hortensia. He says here, Southampton don't want 50 million; they want a 50 million package. That's a big difference. Big up the legend James Dino. I don't know. From what I've seen, David Odyssey report, I'm sure they said they wanted 50 million, close to at least 50 million, which I think this could
Nah,
benefit that
he's
rather
saying
than
that they do want 50 million, but in a package sense. So just like, you know, it'll come in installments over time and whatnot, which is
over
how
time.
pretty much
Okay,
most transfers are now. I think Liverpool just don't want it to be that 50 million in installments. They're going to see if they can get any lower, which I think is smart. But I don't mind. Just get the deal done. Someone you want, go and get him. Not my
Yeah,
problem
yeah.
to worry too much about the finances.
But no, listen, I think Lavia is a good player. I think he's risen up, and you know what he's shown, what he can do. In terms of like the balance and whatnot, like I said, it'd be interesting to see someone saying here, is that not a good midfield? Lavia, what do you call it? Szoboszlai and McAllister. It is a good midfield, but like I said to you, it's one of them. How do you view it across if you want to be consistent in the Premier League? Like, it's very, very difficult for Lavia to be that main spearhead of that defensive midfielder when he's not that experienced. And, you know, there's a difference between doing it from Southampton to do now to Liverpool, who demand a lot. The Kop end demand a lot. Jurgen Klopp demands a lot. And you don't want to put that pressure on a kid too soon. But anywhere else that you're thinking that you should be buying, like, obviously, you still got time. That money as well that you said about 2 midfielders, would that not be better to buy centre-back with that one? You're looking at maybe a Matip replacement. Like, why is Matip not leaving, by the way? What's going on with him? Like, is he staying, Matip?
Oh, we don't need to talk about Matip more than we need to talk about Gomez. Matip's old. No one really is going to pay a fee for him.
He
So
was meant
that's
to
probably
leave
why
though
he's
as
not going to
well.
go.
Gomez, is he
Who, Gomez?
leaving? 'Cause Gomez did a
Gomez.
calamity yesterday. Was it the other game, right? He was poor, man. Them
No,
goals.
I've said this all the time. When Gomez plays bad, we concede 3 or 4 goals. Like, guaranteed, that's going to happen. Do you remember the Napoli game where we got absolutely battered 4-1 by them last season?
Yeah.
Gomez again in that game. You can go and watch my match reaction to it. I was fuming, and Gomez was the main star. So, like, Gomez is a problem before Matip is a problem. And Matip has been a problem. Gomez is a fucking issue. Like, he is someone who is he's just not a footballer now. And in his peak, which is mad because he was young, but he was boss. Whereas now he's just a bit shit, and a bit shit isn't going to cut it at us. So we need to establish something here. And I think he's always done better at right back than centre back. Personal opinion. Matip's got 1 year left. So asking about Matip going, he's probably going to go in 12 months' time for free. But it's fine because he was a free signing. So that's the only thing that's stopping it there. That's why, like, when people say, is Thiago going to leave? No, because, again, he's someone who's also got 12 months left. And, you know, he's probably going to just see it out. I think it's beneficial to keep him for 1 more year. So in terms of centre-backs, I would like to see us get a new centre-back. Me, myself, personally. But I just don't know what's going to happen, Saeed. There's a huge possibility we get Lavia and then that's it. You know what I mean? That's my fear. But I think that'd be done. You know what I mean? I do think we need a little bit more. I think we need a bit more cohesion, another option if we want to switch up the team a little bit. So yeah, it depends. Also depends on if we're playing 3 at the back. There's so many factors and variables, bro. So many factors and variables. I have no clue what's going to happen this year. But I know we'll finish above you, though.
See, this year,
I do think we'll finish above you.
Right now, I can't say anything until we get the 2 players that we need. We're going to do this show.
You're just not saying anything because you're being a wuss. Let's establish some proper conversation. Don't be a wuss. I'm just saying don't be a wuss, and I don't want to call you a wuss. I'm just saying that's what you're acting like
right now because we don't have a striker and we don't have a midfielder. You can't really say anything right now. You can't.
We've got to fundamentally call you a wuss right now. No, yet we can't because previous Saeeds would have done this. Because previous Saeeds would have engaged in this conversation, you know. So
I've also given you a prediction when we've got close to the season. Right now, there's still 2 weeks left. I can't give you that until we sign a midfielder and until we sign a striker. Then I can say, you know what, we're going to finish above you.
Let's go off this premise. Do you think you'll sign those players?
I think we'll get Højlund done. I'm still unsure about the Amrabat one. I still think we need player sales to get that done. Okay. So if we don't do player sales, then we won't do it.
Let's establish the first prediction. Do you think you'll make the sales required and then the purchases required that you're thinking of in your mind right now?
The sales, that's the thing. I'm not confident in the sales. That's why.
So you're saying, no, I don't think right now we're going to do these things. It's fine if you're wrong because it's just a guess. We're not expecting you to be 100% right. So right now you're not sure.
I'm not sure. No.
Okay, then. So if we're going to use that logic going forward, me and you have now got to work off of said logic. So I'm going to work with just getting Lavia in because I'm unsure if we're going to get anyone else. You're unsure if you're going to make the sales.
So you're saying right now, without midfielders, you're going to finish above United? Yeah.
We've got midfielders now, and we anyway.
The one that you need, that Lavia, the one you need. So if you don't get Lavia, are you going to finish above United?
We will get Lavia. So why are we talking about in that context?
I'm just saying though, but then you're saying hypothetical, so you're basing mine on hypothetical answers. So I'm going to give you a hypothetical answer. So if you're not getting Lavia, Are you going to finish above United? Yes or no?
Possibly we could. I'd have to see this. If we've
Again,
got no Fabinho,
I don't understand this. So you've just come to me with,
yes,
oh, you're sitting on the fence. But I've just
yes.
said to you right now, if you're not getting Lavia, are you finishing above United? And you've said possibly. So yes
But
or
now
no
you've
is
changed
the
the
answer.
parameters. Nah, you've just done what Rance does, changing the parameters. I'm just saying, no, you didn't realise it, Saeed. I'm just saying, realise it. You've got to notice it. You've got to notice it. You know, when you're changing up the topic and that. So I started this
You've not
conversation
changed the
based on
topic, though.
based on what you predict, what your team's going to do, which is apparently like only a striker, and then I think my team will get Lavia. Let's use those premises, and then we can use that to like have a battle on who we think.
No, but the thing is, though, the
Now
premise
you're
is
saying we're not
50-50,
getting Lavia.
right?
No, wait there. Now you're saying we're not getting Lavia, and we're already
No, I
letting
never said
Fabinho
that.
go. So what you're saying to me, in the offer that you're giving me to argue with, you're saying if Lavia doesn't come, then yet we've got no Lavia or Fabinho. So now that massively changes the dynamics of what we're talking about. So you haven't trumped me in any way, Saeed. I'm trying to establish a proper debate.
No, but both
Because obviously I don't know
questions
if
are
we're going to finish above
hypotheticals.
yet.
No,
What?
but both questions are hypotheticals, right? Because you said based on this, based on that, based on this. So I've just
Yeah.
changed it a little bit,
But
it
I
doesn't
do
change
also
the
still
argument.
think we could.
It's,
I do also still think we could finish above you if we didn't have Lavia. If we're keeping Fabinho and not getting Lavia, I still think we could finish above you. Yes.
if you don't get Fabinho, if Fabinho leaves and Lavia doesn't come, you still think you finish above United.
That's not going to happen though. That's like stupid. Let's say if we keep Fabinho
Again,
and
it could happen though. It could happen though.
Saeed, we're not going to end up with no sixes. Do you want to bet? Sorry, you don't bet, do you? Nah, but you want to like, you know what I mean? But I'm staying to you though. I am confident that I will be proven right there. We are 100% getting a six. Like, don't be dumb, Saeed.
No, but I'm just saying, like, because at the end of the day, you based it on the hypotheticals. So I've changed it to suit my needs and my
I think
needs
we'll
as
finish
well.
above you based on what I think we're going to do. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Based on what I think we're going to do, which is an addition of Lavia, I think that'll be enough to finish above you.
Okay, fair enough.
Now, do you agree?
Jake, so you know what? I'm going to say no. Based on what I know, based on what I know and what we get then, and again, it's based on hypotheticals. I'd rather do a proper prediction. But if you want to base it on hypotheticals, then I think United finish above Liverpool if we get the players we do.
Okay.
Jake Pegham says the package deal will include add-ons, so I think it will be 42.5 and 2.5 gets rejected. They would have to go with 45.5 million for the 50 million package. Yep, 100%. You know what it is though? I think with Southampton, they need to stop playing games and find a solution. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to keep a player who's not happy as well. So for Southampton's situation, you've got to be a bit careful because he's in the Championship. If he was in the Premier League, I'd say to Southampton, keep him. Don't worry about South losing him and da. He's still playing the Premier League, but you guys are playing in the Championship, unfortunately. Big up to everybody who sent in super chats and whatnot, man. Appreciate the support, man. Honesty, Hontensicot says the Lavia deal makes sense. We need homegrown players, and as a Muslim, I can't sell Joe Gomez and Matip to the Saudis. Is haram football. Wow. I'd rather send him to Ugandan 7th division of football. That's wild, man. That's a wild super chat, man. That's crazy. They play haram football. Damn. That might be the super chat of the day, man. Shout out to honesty. Shout out to you were definitely honest. You were definitely honest, my friend. But I want to play a little bit of a game, yeah? Big up to everybody who's here. 35 minutes in, and nearly 900 people in here. If you haven't hit 400 likes, it's crazy. Half of you guys should be liking the video. Half of you might be haters.
Come on.
You know what I mean? So please hit the like button, people. But I was gonna do a bit of a tier ranking on the signings this summer, right? And let's start with Arsenal, right? What would you give Arsenal this season so far in terms of signings? Where would you rank them in terms of, let's say, A, B, or C? Let's rank them in A, B, or C, or D, actually. A, B, C, or D. Where would you rank Arsenal in terms of their signings this season and where they've done so far?
A. They've accommodated squad depth. I feel like the signings they brought in have been good. I'll give them an A. If we're gonna use the standard of whoever the best transfer window has been so far is A, and whoever the worst is D, Arsenal have been A because they've been better than any other Premier League team in the transfer window so far.
But what if I said though that when you look at the midfield balance, and has it got weaker since Xhaka has left? Possibly Partey has obviously left, and we would argue Partey right now, in terms of the ceiling, is probably going to do a better job than maybe Declan Rice. Obviously, Declan Rice, he's done it at West Ham, but he's not proven at the highest level.
Nah, he's not as good as
Then you
Partey.
would say, well, there you go then. So if we're saying Declan Rice is not good as Partey, and Havertz is definitely not as good as Xhaka, would we say it's an A then
Yes.
in that aspect?
Yes.
Still would be an A.
Yes.
See, I would
Who's
say
better?
no. The thing is, I don't think anyone's better, but I still wouldn't give it an A because I feel like that midfield, there's been a lot of changes in that midfield, and have they got better as a result? And will they have the best balance as a result? Timber is a very good signing.
Yes.
Very, very good signing. I would give it a B plus.
Okay.
Because I don't think for me that midfield has significantly got better. I think Declan Rice is a good, but I still think the balance in there could be crazy. That next season they could actually be very bad in that area, and it could hinder their season if they don't get the balance right. I generally think it could hinder their season because it was something that last season they found so much rhythm in. Xhaka being the kind of almost advanced eight. You had Partey in there was a monster, and he had Odegaard running in the channels and whatnot. Rice is a good signing, but again, how he integrates with Havertz being in there, you have to have complements. Like Rice has to be complemented by Havertz and vice versa. So I think you can have Rice, but if they're not complemented by, you know what I mean, a bit of curry, a bit of, if you have a Rice right now, James, yeah, and he doesn't have the best curry, are you gonna have that Rice? You know what I mean? Are you gonna be bothered about that Rice?
Depends
Like,
a lot of factors matter there, Saeed. If I'm hungry enough, if
there
the
you
curry
go.
is nice
You need a
enough,
bit,
then I'll
a
have
bit
it.
of spices in there, a bit of
Yeah.
something. You
Yeah,
know
I'll
what I
have
mean?
it.
Like, it has to be love.
Yeah,
So,
that's right.
but again, they're saying Rice is not leaving, but then Havertz, I reckon, doesn't come in without playing in that midfield. I generally think he will come in that midfield, and then Partey will be the fall guy. I could just see it right now. I firmly believe Partey will be the fall guy. It'll be Declan Rice, Havertz, and I think it'll be Odegaard. That's what I think the
I think that's
manager
a
will
good point.
play with.
A-star point,
Yeah.
Saeed. I think that's a good assessment from yourself there.
Yeah. So let me know in the chat what you guys are thinking. Their midfield will be Partey, Rice, and Odegaard. Rice will play Xhaka role, and at times Havertz will be there, and Xhaka will slot in to the Partey role.
If that
But I've
happens, I'm
kept Partey and
confident of
Tony.
saying A. But again, though,
Okay.
like, so we're talking about what we think they are going to do. Now, let's also explore what they can do with these additional signings, which is a
Yes.
combination like what we've just said. So we don't know what they're going to do. As we said, we're now speaking on hypotheticals, which I know you don't like them, Saeed. So if we're going to go on guarantees on what we do know, that's a great window because, okay, they might play with Havertz, Rice, and Odegaard, and we might think that causes an imbalance. But then if they play Rice, Partey, and Odegaard, now are we thinking that causes the same imbalance? Because I think some people wouldn't. So it really is dependent. I'd stick with an A. I think they've been better than any other window, and it's been, any other team this window, and I think it's been quite comfortable. So yeah, I'm gonna give them an A. I think that's been solid from them.
You give them an A. Okay. No, that's fair. That's fair. I think for me, that's reasonable in that aspect. But like I said, it all depends on what we want to do, etc., etc. But listen, I think for me, it's a bit of a big business from Arsenal, and fair play to them, man. They found areas that they do. I still think maybe the striking issue might be a problem. Jesus, how many goals do you reckon Jesus will get next season? Because I think for me, that'll be a big question for Arsenal fans. Saka and Martinelli will keep doing what they're doing, but how many goals do you reckon Jesus will get next season?
I can predict 15. 15 if we're going to include,
15.
mini injuries here and there. Not really a goal scorer or outlet anyway. So I think that'd be a productive season for Gabriel Jesus. Premier League goals, that's different. Sorry?
Yeah. Because he can do things without the ball that are far greater in a sense.
Oh no, Gabriel Jesus is a baller, mate. Don't think because I'm lowering his stats. It's only because of the type of player that he is. Some players just aren't made to score 30, 40 goals a season. But yeah, I think that's a good assessment from Virgil and even Subban there. 10, 15. And as long as, like we say, Liverpool is so good because instead of having one guy getting 40 goals, we're now getting multiple guys who can score 10 to 20
Yeah.
goals. And that's actually really good because giving yourself options, you're not just relying on one person. If Arsenal do the same thing, Odegaard gets a few, Saka gets a few, Martinelli gets a few. If Smith Rowe can come on in games and get 5 or 10 over the course of the season, then that's really good because now you've got multiple people getting goals. So you've got multiple outlets and multiple creative players. So yeah, it's interesting and it's interesting. Gabriel Jesus will be a big determining factor on how well Arsenal do because he was last season when they started and they were doing really well. It was when he was playing really good, and even City, they played some of their best football, like in the Centurion season and whatnot, when Gabriel Jesus was involved in the team. He is a serious player. There's a reason why he's established in the Brazilian national team and all these things. So if he stays fit, plays constantly, then he's gonna at least increase the overall goals of Arsenal. Maybe he won't get them himself, but he will increase the overall goals.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Let's move over to Chelsea.
Score.
Chelsea.
Right, shitbags. They're shit, but you know what though? Done a lot of good stuff. Sold all the deadwood that they needed to get rid of. I think that's productive. Who have they signed that I can really? Jackson.
So this Jackson, which has been a very, very good signing so far in pre-season. I've liked what he's done. I've liked his idea of what he's doing in terms of that aspect, link up play, etc., etc. But their midfield is a bit weak, though, man. I can't lie to you, man. It has Enzo, it has Gallagher, it has who else is in that midfield? They don't have anyone else, do they? No.
Nah, they've
Who
got a
they play
couple. I'm
midfield?
sure they'll have
They got
someone.
that Santos kid. They got the Santos kid who they bought from Brazil. But the manager's come out yesterday. Mauricio Pochettino said, "I want to keep Gallagher. He's in his plans for next season." So they want to keep him next season, Conor Gallagher. So if Conor Gallagher is in there, you know what I mean? Like, and they don't, and obviously they're still waiting on Caicedo. That hopefully for Chelsea fans does happen. But how would you give it? Yeah, Chukwuemeka. Yeah, that's another player as well. Well, I'm gonna try and think of what I can give Chelsea.
I'm gonna put them in D.
D.
They haven't got a midfield side.
C or
No,
D?
D, like the lowest of the lowest.
Oh, damn.
Scumbags. Yeah, scumbags. So, like, the reason why I'm going with that isn't any personal bias, by the way. It's simply because they've let go of many players and they've brought in very few players. That's going to cause a lack of options for Pochettino. You're telling me that you've got, what's his name, that Kane kid. Then you've got what's his name? Sorry, lads.
Chukwuemeka.
Yeah, Chukwuemeka. He's somebody as well. So, really think about this. Chukwuemeka, Kane, who else? Conor Gallagher, who so far as we know, best is mid-table standards, really, because he was mid-table at Palace, now mid-table at Chelsea. Seems like a mid-table midfielder, if you ask me.
What about you just said about all the outgoings? Their outgoings have been good in that aspect, but you don't think that should change your view of score still, because it's still like you still got to play the team that you've got.
What's productive about letting go of Deadwood if you can't replace said Deadwood? What's productive about that? In fact, I think you've just now caused yourself a bit of shit.
It is. I agree.
So if you're going to cause yourself shit, you've now just narrowed the squad when, even though you're in less competitions, you now need options for the new manager to work with. And he's barely got any.
Well.
Yeah, bro. Is anyone saying above it? How is D harsh as fuck, chat? Like, if we're going to go off the premise of what we're talking about, which is top 6,
I
A
would
to
have
B,
said
A
C.
being the best, B being the worst.
I would have said C.
What have you done good?
Because I feel like they bought Jackson in, which is fair enough.
Okay.
They've sold well as well. I think that aspect gives me a bit of kind of in that aspect.
We've just got rid of Kante and Kovacic. Their midfield is now significantly worse, and we think just because they finally got a good striker, who we still don't know is going to be 100%
They've only made one signing, I think, in July. So maybe I get where you're coming from, but I still think D's a bit harsh.
What? What?
C makes sense to me. C just kind of, it's still not good. C, by the way. C is like, we're looking at
below
like
average.
the lower part of,
No, it's basically below average, innit? You know what I mean? Good, average, below
but
average.
Yours is shocking. D is shocking.
Yes, I think that is a shocking transfer window based on the standard. If we wanted to address multiple factors as well, by the way, what Chelsea usually do in transfer windows, it's been poor. The signings that they've made are uncertain. The players that they've let go were huge influences on the team. Mount, Havertz, Kante, all these players. Now we're saying one striker replaces all these fucks and what they was. And if that's good, then what's good? So is it good if Chelsea go and get mid-table? Because if they are allowed to go and get mid-table, then yes, I'll agree with you. Their transfer window's been good. But if we're going to all raise the standards of Chelsea, then what we need to do is establish if they're going to get top four, is the signing they've made going to get them top four? Because I don't think they will. Do you think they're going to get top four off the signings that they've made?
I think it's a struggle to get top four with the signings
It's
that
a
they've
big
made
struggle.
so far.
They've got no
But you know
fucking
what? You know
midfield.
what? I just think the midfield is what you need. You need that midfield balance to allow Enzo to play. And I also think the centre back situation is still a bit sticky. I know Badiashile might come back, but I think for me, they need to go and get that midfield. If they get Caicedo, oh my God, it
They
goes
haven't
from
got
a
him yet. They
C.
haven't got him yet. So people are talking to me like as if they've already got Caicedo. They haven't got Caicedo yet. So that's a problem to include in this specific conversation. Because if anything, it looks like that deal's like on shaky legs at the moment. So
They've
we have
also
to
got
be.
Pochettino. That's a signing as well. Pochettino's a signing this summer.
No, it doesn't go into the ins and outs of a football club. No, Saeed, we're not doing that.
No, 100%. Like I said to you, for me, it's so crazy how one signing makes a huge difference to that team, and it's almost like it's almost like if it happens, great. If they don't, then boy, it's one of them where it's like they have to fit around a lot of things like to balance that midfield. Conor Gallagher and Enzo are not going to give you consistent performances every single week. They need a natural holding midfielder. So you know what? D for you might be sound right. For me, I'm going to say C in that aspect. So we'll have to agree to disagree on that one.
Say no more, man.
Let's go to Man United. Manchester
Man
United.
United. Man
Man
United. No, yeah, I
United.
think you use a C. I think you use it a C.
You know what? Give me a handshake on that one. I think you're right in that aspect. Yeah.
My brother, man.
Where's
My
C?
brother, my brother.
Where's
That's
C?
right. That's right.
Where's C?
That's right.
Bringing Onana in has been top quality. I think him
Yes.
coming in, replacing, David De Gea has been a very good signing. And then when you look at Mount, like I said, is not the most glamorous name in terms of what I wanted to see at Man United, but what the manager wanted to see, fair enough. But it still needs two more signings to take it to a C to a B, and I think then we can go to that B category. But C, I would say, is a respectable kind of area because we've got two signings in a keeper, which is a massive, massive hole that we needed, and obviously upgrading Mount into our side in terms of Ericsson losing that kind of situation there, I think would be a key area for us, man. So we just need them two signings, man. Hoyland and what's his name, Amrabat. You would have liked to have the Amrabat, wouldn't you? But again, he's
Yeah.
it's coming.
Not my numero uno choice, but if we had to settle for them, I'd be fine with it.
Yeah. Rasmus comes in and it goes up. Yeah. Rasmus Hoyland. Like I said, I don't know what it's.
Okay, I've got a lot of questions on him. I've got a lot of questions.
Go on.
Okay, so the same arguments that you're using for Lavia, for instance, if you get him over the line, which is likely, do you have those same concerns and worries for the dude who? How many goals did he get last season, Saeed?
Absolutely. He got 9 goals, I think he got.
Now that's a problem because we've also got to remember the last time or when I say we, I mean you, decided to buy a player from Atalanta for a big price, ended up just being a player who went out on loan quite consistently. And although I think Ahmad can be a great player, by the way. I think he can be top class.
Ahmad, okay.
Because didn't you sign him for like a big fee from Atalanta?
Yeah, it was like 20 million rising up to like 40 million. I think that was.
I was going to say it was some mad add-ons, weren't it? And obviously we've seen that weren't as significant as you'd like a big signing to be. Is Hoyland going to fit in the same? Because if he comes in and he's not good enough, then you're just back in the same position.
Yeah, no. I think for me, what the manager's brought him for is probably his overall kind of game in terms of being maybe a kind of a link-up player. Playing a guy who facilitates for everyone, similar to maybe Jesus in that aspect. I'm not saying he's a Jesus type of player because I think he gets more goals in the box rather than Jesus. But I generally think he's brought in more than just goals. But like I said, I think you are right. I can't be hypocritical. Lavia is a risk in a sense of when you need to start him. But I think with strikers though, because if they score a couple of goals, their confidence just goes up. So you just never know how they will reach. But like I said, it's probably not what I expected to go and get. But like I said, the striker market is terrible. I wanted Harry Kane. Harry Kane's being a wuss. He won't agree to nothing. He just keeps floating around. I don't know what he's doing. But we need two more, and then it's a B. I generally think so. It goes to a B, in that aspect, man. But we never know, man. Onana
Never know.
is going to be massive. Mount will be massive, and then we kind of go from there. So
I think
we
Onana
agree
is
on the
comfortably and by far the best signing, like very, very comfortably.
yes.
Not
Could be
even
the signing
close,
of the
by the
summer.
way.
You never know. Like it could be one of the signings of the summer. Like I think so far, Diaby is one of the signings of the summer for Aston Villa. Who else has been one of the signings of the summer so
I think
far?
Szoboszlai. I think Szoboszlai will fall into that category.
Yeah,
I think he'll
Szoboszlai,
be good.
yes. Yeah,
I
I
think he'll
agree
be
with that
quality.
one. McAllister as well is a decent. When you look at the money that you paid for him as well, 35
Nah,
million.
he's nice,
That's a
lad. He's
decent
nice. He's
signing.
nice. I'm liking those two. I really am. I'm a big, big fan. I love the mentality of both. I love the fact they're both coming in as winners. Because think about it, lad. Like McAllister just got Europa League with Brighton and he won the World Cup. And then Szoboszlai has won a trophy in every year of his professional career.
Rice
So
as well.
regardless if it was at the Red Bull team, even like 2 trophies consecutively in the Bundesliga with Nkunku and that, you know what I mean? Big, big, big player for them. So I'm really a big fan of both of those additions. But we'll hold on Liverpool. Smash those likes, people.
Yeah,
Smash those likes. Come on.
smash those
Let's
like people. Yeah.
get them all the way up.
Yeah, let's get it up, man. Let's get it up, people. It's too low right now. The likes are too low. Liverpool. Let's go to Liverpool. We talked about in length in detail. Szoboszlai. We've got McAllister. You've got who else have you bought?
I think that's it in terms of our business so far.
Okay.
Lavia could get done over the line. It's been not as productive in terms of ins and outs, but at the same time, I think the midfield issue was the one that mainly needed to be addressed. I'm not going to lie. I'm stuck between C and B, but I think a
Yeah,
B.
I am as well.
It'd be
I
no,
don't. You know what it is?
a B would be too good. I think.
Mm,
I think a C plus. I'm happy to give
C plus. Yeah, I'm with you. C plus
because
because
we
I
just
feel
need
like
more volume.
it's one of them.
If Lavia was here, I'm contemplating it differently, but we've got to wait. And I think a centre back would make it a guaranteed B. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I'm with you on there. C plus for me. But again, like I said, you need to get that up again. It's similar to United. You've got 2 positions in. You need 2 more positions, and then it goes up
Yeah.
by 2 more. So yeah, I'm gonna
The
say
one thing that we know, though, is that our signings have significantly improved our midfield situation, even if it was just them two.
yeah, yeah.
You know
That's
what I
true.
mean?
Yeah, you know what?
So,
That you know what? That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes, yeah, I get you need a DM, but it's gonna be crazy just having Sabozlai and McAllister in that midfield. Like that's
but
why I
let me
just
even
feel like
paint a picture. If he stays fit, Thiago, Szoboszlai, and McAllister all just balling out in a midfield trio. You know what I mean? Just sounds a little bit saucy on the ball, just
it
winning
sounds
possession
if it was
type
10
idea.
years ago, yeah. If the Thiago was, 10 years younger, yeah,
Thiago's
man.
still better than all. Besides Casemiro, he's still better than all your midfielders.
I don't know, man. I
If we're
don't
going
know
to say
anymore. I
quality
don't
for
know if the
quality for
legs.
position, it's not even close. By the way, it's not even close.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Anyway,
Thiago's
that
still a
would be
G
a
man.
whole new argument. Yeah.
It's not an
So we've
argument, though.
established that. Man City. Man City, they're going under the radar, I think we need
Nah,
to be honest with Man City,
I'm going to say
Let's
a
be
C.
honest.
Let's be honest. C.
Gundogan's left. They got Kovacic.
Yes.
Is that an upgrade for you? Do you think?
No.
I don't think it is,
But Kovacic is great. Kovacic is amazing. Not an upgrade on Gundogan. Not a chance. Gundogan is one of the greatest Premier League midfielders ever. So, let's not say that Kovacic is bad.
One of the, yeah. 100%. Okay, who else have they lost? No, they haven't lost anyone else.
Wait there. So people are saying D for City and then they're saying C for Chelsea. Do you know, chat. I'd say it to me home, so don't think I'm being disrespectful to you. Tapped in the brain cells. You need to establish what you are saying and the contradiction that are coming out of your mouth. Mahrez is gone, and he was huge. He was fucking huge. How much was saying?
I'm not gonna lie to you. The thing is, they've won a treble, so it's
not
like
a D.
I can't really.
Not a D.
They've won a treble, so it's like,
bro. They can let go of all these players and they're still going to finish first. They might not win the treble, but they're still going to do something. So come on, chat. Let's not be pussyos. Let's just agree with what it is.
I'm going to say C minus.
What?
Yes, C minus.
Wait there. Have they bought
'Cause
in
they've-
anybody yet?
They bought in Kovacic, and I don't think he's an upgrade on
Yeah,
Gundogan.
Kovacic is a
And
better signing than Mason Mount, isn't he?
you know what? See, the thing is, he's a better footballer in that aspect. But if he hasn't, I don't think he'll have the same impact as Mason Mount will for Man United. But let's be honest, though, he might not play. He might not play. But let me ask you a question, though. Kovacic might not play, though, when you look at it.
Doesn't matter if he plays once every 3 games and he's better than Mason Mount. Then he's better than Mason Mount. The
No, I'm
same
not
way
trying to
Gundogan's better
create-
than Mason Mount. The same way Gundogan's better than Mason Mount, but he didn't play every game. But he's still better. We can still establish who's
But
better.
you're talking about as a signing, though. A better player.
I'm
Listen,
talking about as a player, and I'm talking about as a
Co-
signing. I'm talking about
No,
everything.
but as a signing, though, for me, I look at it and I think Mason Mount might be a better signing in the long run. But as a better player, I think you're right in that aspect with Kovacic. He is a better player than Mason Mount. But I think if talking about Mason Mount's impact at Man United, I think it might be far greater than Kovacic at Man City because he might not play every week, Kovacic. So that's just one of them where I kind of look at it in that aspect. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm gonna go C minus for
So they've had a
man.
worse window than you guys, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
You just no.
Yeah, because we've bought Onana in and we've bought Mason Mount in, but they've lost
Okay.
Mahrez and they've not replaced Gundogan's goals. And you guys are underestimating Gundogan's input. This is, by the way, our arguments here are gonna. They don't really. Like I'm trying to look at it from a Man City point of view. It's not going to hinder them because again they'll probably win the league. But I'm just solely basing it off signing for signing. How does it look on paper? This is an argument on paper, people. They have not had a great window. I'm just looking at it on paper. I'm not looking at it on crazy how we'll judge their league. I'm just scoring their thing right now. If I came over to your house right now and I just basically said, you know what, from what it looks like right now, it's a C minus. But you can then improve that. We're just looking at it based on right now. I'm going to say
I
C
know, and
minus.
even based on right now, I don't think he's done anything to warrant a higher rating than City in the transfer window. They've sold players for great prices.
Okay.
And
But
Kovacic is better than Mason Mount, who's your star signing. And yet you can say Onana, and that's what they've already got it.
Okay. But you said the importance of Onana is great. Yes or no? How is
I said it's going to be. I think it's going to be
Kovacic
by
then?
far your best signing. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna base it on that judgment and your argument there. So
Okay.
how important is the signing of Kovacic then?
Massive.
Nah, come on, man. It's not massive.
Massive.
It's
It is
not.
massive. How big was
It's not
Gundogan?
though.
How big was Gundogan?
Gundogan is crazy, and it's nowhere near Gundogan.
I
He's
agree.
a good player, Kovacic.
He's a great
But
player,
for
isn't he?
me, I wouldn't say he's a great player. I think he's a good player.
I think he's a great player. I think you can say great. I think on his day, he's great. Can you agree?
On his day, you know what I mean? I can chirp sort of about 100 birds on my day. But again, it's
No.
It's one of them.
No, Saeed, even on your day, you're still not a Kovacic. So what I'm saying is on his day, he's a great player, correct?
Yeah, I get that. On his day, he's a great
No, the
player.
point that
but
I'm
again,
leading to,
consistently wise.
okay, so when we say on our day, what does that mean? Who needs to bring that day out of us more? Now he's going to be working with Pep Guardiola. Now, not only is Pep Guardiola going to be bringing out more of his best days, which we've established is a world-class Kovacic
Again,
if he's on his best day. Wait there, Saeed, I'm leading, let me land. So
Yeah,
Pep
yeah.
Guardiola will bring that out of him. Oh, by the way, he's going to be playing with Kevin De Bruyne. He's going to be playing with Rodri. He's going to be playing with all these teams, and he'll play a more offensive role. And we know if he plays a more offensive role, that can suit him. So do I think that is going to be a big impact? Absolutely. Do I think he's as good as Gundogan? No, not at all. But do I still think that you can get a tune out of him? And that tune is a bigger impact than what Onana causes for you? Absolutely. So yes, I'd say
You're doing a lot
Kovacic
of
is a great
ifs now,
signing
though.
and it can
You're
have a
doing a
big
lot of
influence.
ifs. You're
I'm
doing
not
a lot
talking
of
about ifs. We're all talking about ifs. That's what this whole conversation is saying. I'm giving you precedence behind my ifs. Okay.
Yeah,
so
but the thing
and
is,
it's not
we're
ifs.
judging it.
I'm giving you what I know about a player, and I know that he's going to go into that team. I know he's going to play under Pep Guardiola. I know he's going to do well as an option, and that option will be hugely influential to more trophies for them.
The justification why I've given Manchester United a C. Did I give them a C plus? I think I gave them a C plus, right? Is that I think for me, it doesn't change the fact that my importance of Onana and what he gives us is far greater than Kovacic's importance to Man City. Therefore, I've given Man City, and the fact they've bought one player only, a C minus. There's my premise for my argument. Now, does it kind of make sense in that aspect?
It made sense anyway. I just disagree with the premise.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Because again, that comes down to way I'm kind of thinking about football, and we'll never agree on that part. But
Yes.
I'm giving a C minus. You're giving a
C plus.
C plus. Okay, fair enough. Right. I'm gonna go with Newcastle.
Now this is where I'm willing to go a little bit higher. I'm willing to say a B.
Tonali, they've bought Tonali, Harvey Barnes, and I think
Two great
that's it,
signings,
right?
by the way. Two great signings.
You know what? Two great signings. You know what?
Top
They need a
players.
left back, though, man. They need a left back, and they need a centre back, another one. I think they need two more. But I'm willing to say that, what do you?
B.
I'm stuck on this one. B. You know what? B's right. You know what? You're right. B, because I feel like
Tonali, I don't think we're all
Tonali's
talking about how good Tonali is of a signing.
Tonali is great, man.
He's
When you
now going
deep it,
into a midfield with Joe Linton and friggin' Joe Linton and what's his face, Guramice. So, like, think about the chat. Like, now they've got two world-class. Guramice has been playing world-class. And then you've got Tonali,
Yeah.
who's been amazing in Italy. And he's a nice player all around. And then you've also got Joe Linton, who's been amazing. So, I think there's a great... We like to mention balance. Balance is already been gotten in that midfield. And
Yeah.
who else have we signed? Sorry, Harvey Barnes. That's a great addition. And then also,
Yeah.
we've got to mention that they're still looking to get more. So... with the intention that they're going to do more, and then with what they've already done, I think it's fine to say a B. I think they've done better than most teams this window.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Let's quickly. Have we missed out a team? Tottenham.
Tottenham. They've been quite good.
Madison.
Didn't sign.
No, I don't
Didn't
think.
sign.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think it's been great. I think be honest
Remind me,
with you.
Saeed, who have they signed? Do you know?
Madison
Madison.
and the free transfer from that player. What's his name? Who's that player? Solomon.
Is that it?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna say it's a C.
I'm going to say C minus. I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, C minus, because I just think for me, Madison is great. Don't get me wrong. But I think for me, they need two centre backs, definitely. They bought Vicario. Okay. Nah, still don't change it for me. Because I don't know what kind of keeper he is. And the quality, does he really improve Tottenham? Because Lloris, like I said to you, for all that he's been bad, yeah, he was still a decent-ish keeper. We don't know what Vicario is. I don't know.
I don't know. I
Vicario
think
is.
Lloris has been a bit too shit over the past couple of years. So unless we're going to talk about prime Lloris, we're going to talk about
No,
last
we're just
season.
talking about. Yeah. Okay, then fair enough.
He was diabolically shit. But nah, do you know this Vicario? I think Vicario. I don't know much about him, and I don't know much about some of the players that have signed for
I
Tottenham.
don't know as well.
Even Madison, I don't know how that's going to go. You know what I mean? What happened to
I think it'll be
Richarlison being
quality.
boss chat? Do you remember when Richarlison was supposed to be boss? And we all
Leave
thought
him
that he was
alone,
gonna be a
man.
great-
Leave him alone,
What,
man.
leave him alone. Leave him alone in what aspect? I'm just saying. Do you remember when we all thought he was boss?
Yeah.
And,
No.
and we agree that he's now not boss.
Yeah, he's not boss. Definitely not boss, man. He's definitely not that, man. So yeah.
Good to
But
see
listen,
everyone notice.
I'm gonna say C minus. I still
I'm not
think
going to
for
lie.
me,
I'm
they
changing
need-
my answer. I'm giving them a D.
Oh,
Diabolically
by the way.
shit. Really poor.
Yeah.
Really poor. Need to do more. Now their owner's in shit
Yeah.
as well, Saeed. They can't even spend more money. They're going to
Yeah,
let go of Harry
exactly.
Kane.
Yeah, that's true.
You're
Yeah,
telling me
that's
they're
true.
going to let go of Harry Kane?
Mm.
And if you agree with that, then that's a huge problem, isn't it? Because now they're relying on Human Son, who arguably could be finished as an outlet. So,
No. I think for me, you know what? I'm gonna say C minus. I think they've Madison, but then again, it's like, yeah. I don't know. I just like, I don't know, man. It's a tricky one. They've got a keeper. They've got Madison. They've got Solomon. But then I still don't think, apart from Madison, he don't move me. He don't. It's not giving. It's not giving, is it? So I'm gonna say C minus. C minus. You gone for
I'm going to
D?
say a D because someone asked me there. So Hammers, so Chelsea have had a diabolically poor window. Yes, fundamentally, I agree with that statement. And then I will align the same with Tottenham. I don't think they've done enough to significantly improve their team. I think they're a bit shit.
Yeah,
Same as Chelsea.
yeah. And then the last one that I want to stick with is Aston Villa.
Hey, now
I'm gonna
who
say
else have he signed other than Diaby?
Diaby, Pau Torres, and Tielemans.
Oh,
I think the B,
oh,
man. I think the B.
oh. What?
B plus.
B plus.
Yeah, B plus. I'm going B plus.
Chat, is anyone willing to go on the front line and say an A? Is anyone willing to be like proper ballsy and
Bro.
go with an A? Chat, are you willing to do it? If you do it, I'll do it. You go first, I'll go second. Yeah, I
A
see an A
minus.
minus. A minus. I
A
see an A minus.
minus.
A plus. Someone just
You know
said an
what?
A
Should we
plus.
do it?
Do you want it? Do you reckon we
Let's
go
go
for
for
it?
it.
Say it's a nice little
Yeah.
simultaneous A
A
plus. Nah, I'm messing.
plus.
Nah, yeah, A minus. A minus.
No, A minus. A minus. A
A
minus.
minus.
A.
Sweet, sweet,
You know
sweet,
why?
sweet.
It's because I didn't think that Aston Villa would get Pau Torres and Diaby. Like, bro,
Nah,
this is
when you
exciting
said Pau
signing.
Torres, that's significant. Even Tielemans as an option, that's significant. That's good. A good
Yeah.
choice.
With runners around him, Tielemans can do something. When he's told
Even
to
if he
do a certain
even if he
job,
comes off the bench, for 30 minutes, that's an option off, in the midfield
option.
that you can definitely
Yeah.
use.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, nah, big up, man. That's been a good, enjoyable one, man. Anyone else in the top 7 we missed? Top 7. I just want to stick to top 7. I think we missed anyone, haven't we?
I don't believe so. I don't believe so. I think we Tottenham, Arsenal,
No.
Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool. Yeah, we've done pretty much all.
Yeah. So there you go, people, man. That's been a bit of a fun, enjoyable stream.
Jeez.
Yeah, man. Big up to everyone who's been here, man. Brighton. Brighton. I'm not gonna lie to you. They've kept Caicedo. They bought in that guy from Dortmund, and then they bought in Pedro from Watford, and then they bought in who else have they bought in? Dahoud and Milner.
James Milner.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not gonna lie, that's an A plus from me, Saeed.
Nah.
You've just
I'm
signed the
gonna
best.
say
You've just signed the best prospect in the country. Are you mad? Come on, Saeed. Let's give respect. Respect to James Milner.
respect.
Come on.
I'm gonna
Respect.
say
James Milner's better than Mason Mount. Can we admit
they
this?
bought Igor. They bought Igor just right now. Centre back from I believe it's Fiorentina, is it, or something like that?
They have me at James Milner. I'm giving them an A. Okay, I'm going to give them. In fact, I might even give them an A star. Good
I'm
window.
gonna say B minus.
B minus. Jeez, that's actually a
B
good
minus,
rating.
yeah. B
That's actually a
minus.
good rating.
Yeah.
Jeez, man like
Yeah, that's a
Brighton.
good rating, yeah. Yeah, there you go, people. But listen, we're going to wrap it up here. Jays Redmond, it's been a pleasure, man. 305 likes. I would have loved to get at least to 400. But guys, you have your chance to redeem yourself. Stop what you're doing right now and hit that like button. It costs you nothing. And it helps the channel grow, man. It helps us get to other places, other people who have not heard of the Northwest Divide. James, are you back on the streams? Someone was asking before, are you back? What we saying?
We're back tonight, man. We're back tonight, brother.
We're back tonight.
Tonight.
We're back.
So make sure you tune in. Roughly around probably about 9:45 UK time, 9:45 PM.
Oh.
So yeah, so keep an eye out, chat, around 9 and 10 PM. Keep an eye out on JRTV if you want to tune in. Just an interactive conversation between me and you, where you make footballing points and I call them out. So feel free to tune in if you want to.
There you go, people. There you go, man. I'll be back at 5 PM for Man Them Talk. So tune in 5 PM. And yo, people, it's been a pleasure. Subscribe to Jays Redmond TV. Hit the like button on the video. And I'll see you later. We're out.